You are listening to King Edward's Radio. Over the next coming weeks, we will be covering the mock election here at Kegs, and we'll be interviewing the proper candidates, our mock candidates, and the question times that have been arranged. This is the question time that took place on the 22nd of April.
Welcome to the first event of the Ed Election 2015. The party leaders who are going to speak for around 30 seconds and just outline some of the key policies that their party would put in place if they were to form a government in May. So speaking first, we have Emma.
Okay, so I'm Emma and I'm going to be representing the Conservative Party. So at this election, we think that education is a really big issue. Educating young people, they are the future of our country, and it's really important that we give them a quality education and one that they deserve. So our policies, we are committing to investing £7 billion over the course of the next Parliament to ensure that every young person has good school places. Protecting the school's budget and increasing the amount spent on schools as the number of pupils increases. Also the NHS. The NHS is a really big issue, but it's also one of the key things in this country and one of the most important things. We want to provide same-day GP appointments for the over 75s and the right to a named GP, and also welfare and making sure that this country works for the most vulnerable and making sure that they feel comfortable in the society that they live in. Taking everyone who earns less than $12,500 out of income tax will hopefully ensure that these people can have a decent standard of living. Thank you.
So I'm Grace and I'm representing the Green Party in our election, and the Green Party started off as a pressure group tackling environmental issues, and then in the 1970s they become an actual political party. They now focus their policies around still around the environment, but also around NHS and education and the economy and things. And in terms of health, we believe that everyone should have an equal opportunity to have a brilliant health service in this country, and we are going to invest £12 billion in the NHS over the next 5 years. And also we believe that everyone should have an equal chance to have a brilliant education as well, and that's why we want to scrap all free schools and private schools and grammar schools and put those back into the state system again.
I'm Dan and I'm representing the Labour Party. So I'm going to tell you the Labour's position on the NHS, education and welfare. So on the NHS, Labour is the party that created the NHS and is committed to protecting the NHS as a public service. So we'll cap private profits from NHS, and also we're going to invest more money in the NHS. We're going to guarantee a GP appointment in 48 hours, have 8,000 more GPs and 20,000 more nurses. On education, we're going to lower university tuition fees from £9,000 to £6,000. We're going to scrap free schools and academies and bring them under local authority control, so we know how many school places we're going to have. So on welfare, we believe that people who've worked hard and put into the system deserve help when something goes wrong. So that means that if something as unfair as the bedroom tax exists to penalise people, mainly disabled people, it should be abolished, and that's what we plan to do.
Hi, I'm Travis. I'm standing for the Liberal Democrats. We are a party that believe in both the prosperity but also the welfare of the individual. In terms of education, we want to protect the education budget from cuts because everyone deserves a quality education. And there will also be more money provided for disadvantaged children. NHS, we want to invest an extra £1 billion a year to get the NHS back up functioning to the level that it should be at. And in terms of welfare and benefits, we want to increase or at least keep welfare and benefits at the level they are, and hopefully raise the level of income tax as well over the next few years to serve as greater prosperity for the ordinary working man.
Good afternoon, I'm Toby. I'm representing the United Kingdom Independence Party, and under UKIP, with regards to education, we will introduce new vocational qualifications as an alternative to 4 non-core GCSEs, which we believe will give people the sort of benefits to go into work. We also will scrap the target of 50% of students going to university, and we'll also ensure that we'll also ensure that we will scrap the tuition fees for universities for those students studying science, maths, engineering, and such qualifications. In terms of the NHS, we believe that the NHS is a vital part of Great Britain. Therefore, we will put more money into it by making sure that all immigrants who come into this country will ensure they have private health insurance and will not be able to get free healthcare part of the NHS until they are living permanently here for 5 years and have worked here for 5 years.
Okay, so you've heard the opening spiel from each of the party leaders. Do we have a first question for any particular leader or just in general?
Do you intend to propose legislation to lower the voting age to 16? And if so, will you introduce compulsory teaching of politics as to engage our largely apathetic youth?
Okay, so should we start with Labour?
So yes, we will lower the voting age to 16. We won't make compulsory politics education. However, we will increase the amount of politics education in schools, as we believe that is vital to improve democracy and also to increase participation amongst our youth. So yes, we will.
Similarly to Labour, we will lower the voting age to 16 to allow 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in a general election. And we won't be introducing compulsory politics education in schools, but we feel that this is an opportunity for everyone to become a part of society from a much younger age, which is extremely important in this day and age.
In the Conservative Party, we do feel that political education would be important from a young age to introduce them to the world of politics and the way that it works. But we don't feel that reducing the voting age to 16 would be a sensible step, as we feel that voting in a general election is a very adult decision. You need more life experience, and therefore we feel that 16 is too young to be able to make this decision.
We also believe, or we at least support, lowering the voting age to 16. When you are 16, you have a majority of rights that most adults will have, so we believe why shouldn't you be able to vote and have your say in local and general elections as well? We believe this is very important. In addition to this, we would encourage an increase in, if not political education, and at least political awareness within school to help perhaps combat and tackle the apathy that we see amongst the youngest age groups.
Oh, well, of course, political education is very important, and we believe that within Britain we should indeed sort of encourage more political education and learning in sort of the lower schools. But we don't think that lowering the voting age to 16 is necessarily a vital step, or like the Conservatives, not even necessarily a necessary step. We don't believe this is going to help out with the crisis we're facing in many elections. Where we have low turnout, we feel that we should have better political education at a younger age. But no, we don't think that lowering the voting age to 16 will necessarily benefit this country.
This is the first part of the first question time of part of the series running up to the mock election. Catch all the other question times, answers and interviews on King Edward's Radio coming up in the future. King Edward's Radio presents the Music Awards 2015. Round 1 voting is open. Please go on our website, which is kingedsradio.wix.com/kingedsradio, to find out how you vote, and please vote. And round 1 voting will be ending shortly after half term. Round 2 voting will then begin the week back after half term, and then we will announce the winners in the final weeks of this school term. Thank you for tuning in this week for King Edward's Radio, and join us next time for more mock election. And we have a special guest in the studio, Nick Wells, who will be talking to us about the Berry Festival.